Now, I'm not an astrologer. I don't know whether these things are true or not. I'd have to ask one. But she, for instance, one of them is covered in insects, and in his chart, whichever house it is, I can't remember the house now. Hello, I've picked up another book from the library, and it's Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga Tokarczuk. And this one was recommended to me by my son. She was also shortlisted for the Booker Prize, the International Booker Prize for Books of Jacob, which I haven't got round to reading. But I thought I'd start with a shorter one, as Books of Jacob is huge. And I really enjoyed it. It's sort of like a murder mystery. We have Janina, who hates her first name, who hates her name at all. She lives on her own, and she is into astrology. She loves nature, natural world, and she becomes embroiled in this murder mystery because she finds a body, and then other members of the local hunting club keep dying. And she is convinced that the murders are being committed by the animals, that they have suddenly decided that, hang on, there's been enough death, we're going to take revenge. And she is passionate in this belief, and she writes letters to the police. But, you know, she's just discounted as this crazy old woman. But she raises all sorts of questions. The book raises all sorts of questions. Who has the right to kill animals? And who chooses which animals live and which animals die? She is very passionate about the fact that everything deserves to live. She collects when she finds anything dead. She buries it in a garden and gives it proper rites. The hunters have built these, what she calls pulpits, and they are platforms where they can shoot the animals from above. And she's almost sort of got religious imagery here, but you know, a pulpit is where a priest preaches. These hunters are putting themselves above the animals. They're putting themselves in the role of, I suppose, in the role of God. They are choosing which animals live, which animals die. So she's got that sort of idea running through this as well. She is an astrologer. She is very involved in working out horoscopes. She works out everybody's charts if she can get them. She's also convinced that the chart holds the date of death, that these deaths are foretold in the stars. Now, I'm not an astrologer. I don't know whether these things are true or not. I'd have to ask one. But she, for instance, one of them is covered in insects, and in his chart, whichever house it is, I can't remember the house now, but there's small animals in that chart. So I don't know whether this is true or not. I don't know how accurate this is, so I'm not going to pass any comment. She also teaches English 1 day a week in the local school, and one of her old students comes to visit her weekly, and they're translating the poems of William Blake from English into Polish, which gives a strange sort of vibe thing, because this book is translated from Polish into English, and in the book they're translating English into Polish. But, you know, just a weird little thing there. She's close observer of nature. And again, going back to the religious theme, she almost criticises the priest because he holds this service to commemorate the patron saint of hunting. He's advocating killing, which again is something that she cannot agree with. She is at times an unreliable narrator, but she is a brilliant character. She names everybody. She's got a name for everybody. She never refers to them by their proper names. She's got a name for everybody. Oddball, Bigfoot, Good News. And you just like her. She's just a lovely character. There is a twist that I never expected, but there is a twist at the end. But I thoroughly enjoyed this. I really did. So, drive your plough over the bones of the dead. If you like a quirky sort of little murder mystery, pick this one up. So happy reading. Take care.